That's a very far-fetched idea that we would go in with military force. I think President Trump really does want to make a deal.
Just one more thought. Donald Trump said in that exchange with Norway's Prime Minister he wants complete and total control of Greenland. If he can threaten a NATO ally to...
Before we dive into the full story, comment where you're watching from, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Get ready, because what you are about to see is the absolute definition of a media train wreck. We have all seen talking heads go on international television completely unprepared, but this specific exchange takes the cake. In this clip, a prominent MAGA influencer and strategist steps right into the lion's den of British media, fully expecting to breeze through her talking points completely unchallenged. She tries to drop some of the most massive, unverified geopolitical claims you will ever hear, confidently acting as if it's all just a done deal. But she clearly forgot who she was dealing with. Enter Victoria Derbyshire, a seasoned British journalist who does not play games, does not read from a script, and definitely does not let blatant propaganda slide. The second this influencer attempts to spin a massive alternate reality, Derbyshire steps in, cuts through the noise, and brings her right back down to earth with a brutal, epic reality check. It is a masterclass in real-time fact-checking that leaves the talking points completely shredded. Let's watch the full clip play out, and make sure you stick around because I am going to break down exactly where this spin falls apart right after.
Let's bring in Republican strategist Angie Wong. I mean, can you help us? What do you think President Trump's next move is?
Well, I don't believe that President Trump is an imperialist. I think he definitely wants to make a deal here. And as your speakers have said, he is the art of the deal president, and he has long been known to throw out the most extreme, most outrageous deals just to see what everyone's reactions will be and who's going to be pushing back. And in this case, he's seen almost everyone in the EU push back on this.
And forgive me, Angie Wong, he may also have seen President Putin be absolutely delighted about what's going on, because it potentially is a split between the US and its allies in NATO and in Europe. The only person happy at the moment is Vladimir Putin.
Well, he could be seeing it that way, or he could be seeing it as Putin getting isolated. Remember all the other geopolitical movements that have been made in the last few weeks. We have secured Venezuela. We're going after Cuba now.
You haven't secured Venezuela. I'm sorry, you have not secured Venezuela. It's the same regime. It's just a different person in charge.
And the Trump administration is all over the former vice president, now interim president there. So there's been a lot of movement. It could very well be, at the end of the day, when the historians write this book, that we are actually trying to isolate Putin and cut off any sort of money pipelines, any sort of trade pipelines. Remember, all of this deal, yes, we're talking about rare earth minerals, we're talking about national security for the U.S., but we're also talking about the Polar Silk Road. If the U.S. can control that shipping lane, along with the Panama Canal, we essentially then can control the Western Hemisphere as far as trade and shipping goes. That is
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I just wanted to ask you, why do you think President Trump wants to own Greenland when you know you've got this treaty, the 1951 Defence Treaty between Greenland/Denmark and the US? It allows you to deploy thousands more US troops there, to build more bases. During the Cold War, there were something like 15,000 US troops there. There's now about 200. Why do you have to actually own it? Why can't you work with them to send a load more US troops?
Well, the messaging here is that President Trump wants to build the Golden Dome, which is a $175 billion project, very similar to what Israel has. And he needs Greenland and the seas around it to do so. Now, it's not impossible. It's never been heard of before that we do annex and purchase lands. We did that with Alaska. We did that with the Louisiana Purchase, the Mexican secession, and other places. So this is part of that. But we're not going in with troops. That's a very far-fetched idea that we would go in with military force. I think President Trump really does want to make a deal.
Just one more thought. Donald Trump said in that exchange with Norway's Prime Minister he wants complete and total control of Greenland. If he can threaten a NATO ally to surrender territory, and other allies that if they don't come to a deal, tariffs will be imposed upon them, does that mean NATO is effectively dead?
I don't think I think there's a lot of pressuring, there's a lot of positioning right now. Even the U.S. senators have come out over the weekend to tell President Trump, if you invade Greenland with military force, you will be impeached. So he is feeling the pressure from everybody right now. And
That's interesting. Sorry, Angie, I'm just because one of our guests is agreeing with that. And
It's always fascinating to watch what happens when talking heads and political strategists book a ticket across the Atlantic, step onto a UK television set, and realize their standard script doesn't work. Over here, they're used to friendly echo chambers where they can drop wild talking points without anyone batting an eye. But the moment they face a seasoned journalist like Victoria Derbyshire, the entire illusion falls apart. Case in point, this absolutely unhinged claim that the United States has somehow secured or captured Venezuela. It is complete propaganda, and anyone with a map and a basic understanding of global affairs knows it's entirely detached from reality. Let's look at the actual facts on the ground. They didn't dismantle the regime. They merely removed Maduro from the top spot. Meanwhile, his direct second in charge took the reins, and the exact same political structure remains completely intact. The system didn't crumble, it just adapted. Worse yet, this reckless, short-sighted approach has achieved nothing but putting ordinary American citizens in serious, immediate danger. Because instead of a stable transition, you now have active armed militias roaming the ground, actively hunting and targeting Americans as direct retaliation for how this entire situation was handled. It's a textbook example of a dangerous foreign policy blunder being spun as a massive victory for domestic applause. This is exactly why journalism matters. Victoria Derbyshire did exactly what a real interviewer is supposed to do. She refused to sit back and let total nonsense get broadcasted as truth. She pressed, she pushed back, and she completely shut down the spin. What do you guys make of this entire exchange? Let me know your thoughts on how this went down in the comment section below. And while you're down there, do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button and drop a thumbs up if you want to see more real breakdowns holding these talking points accountable. I appreciate every single one of you. See you in the next video.